Croeso nôl. Welcome back. This is Ben Llewellyn, and today I just got a short one for you because I'm actually down in the south looking for a flat, like a place to live. I know that epic's been going on for a long time. I tried to buy a house and that fell through. And a note to you, if you're moving to Britain or traveling around Wales, the railway situation in Britain is completely messed up. The housing economy has completely fallen through the roof, and this is because, anyway, this is just a short one to do an etymology video. The word lamb in English and the word oen in Welsh. This is a good way for me to show you with comparative linguistics how words evolve and spill over into each other and how they're related, and that's quite fascinating. So the word for lamb in English, and it's oen in Welsh, but if you move over into Irish, uan. I don't know if I'm saying that right in Irish, by the way. But in French, agneau. And in Eidaleg means Italian in Welsh. The word for lamb is agnello. And so you can see there's a big difference between these four, but they're very similar. And that's because they came from the same source. The two Celtic ones first, they swallowed the consonants, right? And they elongated the vowels, which gradually compressed. And this came from a Celtic word, something like oignos. And this came from Indo-European, a word for a sheep, probably, hognos. This is speculative. This is reconstructed Indo-European, right? And the Latin-based languages, they came from Latin agnellus, or agneus. And one thing that makes French different to Italian is that French swallowed quite a few consonants, and this is interesting because that's quite Celtic in construction and how it shapes it, because that didn't happen in Italian. That's very pronounced. Agnello. That double L has been entirely lost in French. But the difference is between Celtic and Latin is where the emphasis was on the vowels. Because Irish and Welsh, they completely lost that G-N combination. They just have the N, and that's completely ditched the last vowel. But the Latin-based languages did not drop that ending vowel. They used it to categorize things between masculine and feminine initially. The Celtic languages had mutations, which enabled them to squeeze words together because they didn't need all the other signifiers. And so once you classify words in a different way, your language and another language begins moving very much further apart. Let's go into the English word for lamb. So in Netherlands or Dutch, lamb. Quite similar. But you get Finnish languages, which took on the Germanic. Now, in English and Dutch, that word comes from lambas in Germanic. And that also gave the word to the Finnic languages. And so in Finnish, it's lamas. Kind of a thicker M, I think. Any Finnish speakers, let me know. And then in its cousin Estonian, lambaliha. And so what you have is you can have words jump language families, but they're constructed still according to how the language shapes it. And those ultimately come from Indo-European as well. I mean, well, Finnish and Estonian are not Indo-European, but they borrowed a lot from those. And the Indo-European word that the Germanic lambas comes from chlochomplos, right? And this means grayish brown or an elk. And that hl sound at the beginning would have in Welsh probably been distantly related to the word for llwyd, grey. And so you can see how language, even though they're very related on the same branches, Indo-European, change over time, and so the Latin and Celtic are much closer together. Germanic is much closer to the Slavics, actually, than it is to Latin or Celtic. And so if you're wanting to learn different languages within the Indo-European family, or even non-Indo-European languages like Finnish, it's good to know, well, okay, what do you want to learn, and what language do you know, or languages, and how do these relate to them? How far apart are they? Which words in your vocabulary will help you get a leg up on the ladder as you're learning? You can see why now I promote Romance languages in relation to the Celtic languages, because if we're going to promote Welsh, it's in our interest to be more closely aligned with Romance-speaking nations, because those are easier for us, and then vice versa with our language Welsh, to pick up and learn than it is for German speakers, though it's a lot easier for a German speaker to learn Welsh than it is for a German speaker to learn Finnish. It's not that difficult, guys, come on. And hey, that was just a short video. I'm down south looking for a house as you watch this probably. So, diolch yn fawr iawn am wylio. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.